20 years ago, a seed was planted and cared for. We painstakingly nurtured it and weathered it against adversity until one day it blossomed and the fruits of our labor began to show. Today, millions have learned, shared, and been inspired by what our community has produced. We proudly served 21 million users from 204 countries in 2019. For our 85,000 technical articles, code samples, and videos, our 450,000 forum questions, and our highly anticipated conferences and events featuring keynote panels, live streams, and industry experts and influencers, we recognize and reward members for their dedication to the community. Through content contributions and mentorships, we ranked number 2,620 in the world with a reach of millions across our social media channels. Thanks to you, our global community of software and data developers grows stronger each day. For more information, visit us at csharpcorner.com.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of C Sharp Corner Growth Mindset video. I'm outside today. I'm sitting outside. You can see it's nice and sunny. Summer is here. And today's episode is a little bit different. It's interesting. I'm going to ask you some questions and I want you to get involved. This is going to be interesting, right? So I'm outside here. Let me switch my camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share outside and this will be the talk for me. And again, as you know, if you're joining me back, ask your questions. Feel free to ask any kind of questions you have and share and what you think. And I'm going to ask questions and then you can reply as well. Okay. So let me switch my camera. This will be interesting. How do I do that? I do this. So I'm going to walk and switch my camera to front. So back camera. There you go. Let me go back. And we are, let's see, done. And we're back. So I'm outside. So again, welcome to the show. I'm adjusting it. So thanks for just being patient with me. So today I'm outside here. As you can see, it's nice and sunny. So I live in an area where we have a lot of trees, a lot of greens. As you can see, summertime is nice and beautiful. And I learn a lot just from being outside by myself, spending time with trees and nature and so on and so forth. And one of the things in which we can apply in our lives and even in software development is paying attention to the minor details. Let me repeat this again, paying attention to the minor details. And the reason I want to bring that topic today is that because so many people, especially software developers there I work with, we are building these software products, do not pay attention to the minor details. And that's where most frustration come. Look at the UI UX, like look at the banks. I know David joined me just now. David, welcome to the show. Ledger, welcome to the show. Again, thank you for hanging out with me here today. This sunny, nice 80 degrees weather in Philly. MDs, welcome to the show. So, and I'm going to ask you questions today as I'm doing this show outside. It's definitely, thank you, Deepak. Yes, nice, beautiful day. And you can say, you know, as you can see, I live here and this is in between a lot of trees and greens. But and David, we always talk about that, and David is here also. Maybe David, you can join me behind the scene today. But point is that so much software is being developed today. Either you look at your bank website, or you look at mobile apps, or you look at any of the, e-commerce applications. When you're buying all that, we always get frustrated when we are using the user interfaces, right? So why is that? We are the people who are building these softwares, right? We can't complain about it because most of who are building software, they are us. We are software developers, right? We are the biggest a community of software development. So the reason a lot of software is bad is because the builders, the creators, people who are creating these, user interfaces, they are just they're not paying attention to the minor details. So that's one point I want to bring in today's show. Second point I want to bring is that, and these are the 2 points I'm actually going to talk about today. Is let me switch my camera back so I can. Let me go back again. Front camera. There you go. All right. So yeah. So one point I want to bring attention to, that as a software developer, is paying attention to the minor details. And then second one is the growth. The growth. And when I talk to a lot of developers, and especially the young developers, they want to move so fast. They're like, oh, I want to become an architect. Somebody just started coding 3 months ago. They're like, I want to become an architect and I want to become today or tomorrow. This is not how things work. And that's why when I'm spending outside time here with these little plants in grass or whatever, I learned so much from this. And that's exactly I want to share with you, so you can understand what it means. That sometimes if you're trying to grow in your company or in your team, or trying to join a different company, or you say, I want to move to my next stage in my career, jump up in my ladder, jump up in the career ladder. Sometimes things take time, and that's okay. You have to be patient with that. Should not frustrate you. Um, if you want to move faster, if you are doing everything, sometimes things may not move as fast you want to move. Okay. I want you guys to share your comments and chime in what you think on that. But today, let me share something with you, and that's why I'm here outside today. This is the real practical example I do from day to day, right? So let me switch my camera, and I'm going to show you something. Back camera, right? So, all right. So these are all my creations. I always play around with these flowers. They may not look that good, but I think they are pretty good. They're good because they're awesome, because they're my plants, right? So when you are building a product, or when you are creating an application, or you have an idea, you always feel like what you're creating is your plant, your babies. You love them, right? But sometimes you have to say, what, this is not good. I need to work more on that. And that's where importance comes, paying attention to the minor details. So if you look at this, let me show you this guy right here, this plant, right? It's a big plant now. It's flower plant. It's going to have flowers very soon. I think it's going to have yellow flowers. But 2 3 weeks ago, and this could also be assumed that this is just a junk, I could have taken this off. Few weeks ago, it was one of those. It was this size, right? So what I did is I took that from there and I planted separately, made sure it has grass, it has water, it has issues, everything. And now if you look at it, it's already ready for the flowers. Same thing with these. I'll tell you, these ones I just took from here and I planted one here and I planted one here. So what does that mean? If you take a really small, tiny things, seed, you plant it right, give it a water, soil, and it has sun, take care of it. Eventually, you will see these flowers are gonna grow in at least in 2 3 weeks. They're gonna be pretty big. They're gonna have, this one is gonna have white flowers, and this is gonna have pink flowers, um, and it's going to be beautiful. And I cannot, even though I planted them today, I'm not going to assume that tomorrow they're going to grow big and start giving me flowers. That's not going to happen. Why? Because nature has to take its own time. And when you are a young person, you just graduated from college, or you are in your company working for 3 years, and you say, what, I'm behind everybody. Oh, look at this guy's leading a project, this guy's running a company, this guy's a architect, and I'm behind here. But you have to also think that everybody you see out there, they have already done their time. Okay, they have spent years and years already. Well, that's why they are there, and you're just starting. So you should not frustrate you, because everything take time to build there. And look at this one, right? This was, I planted this 3 4 years ago. Okay, But 3 4 years ago it was like one of that, like just like this big, right? This big. But over the time, this year is probably the first time I'm seeing it. It has blossomed so good, and it has multiple flowers. Last year it only had one flower. So same thing applies in our lives. Okay, sometimes we have to do little things, take care of little things. That's how they become, eventually they will become big and reward you in big ways. It applies in life, it applies in career, it applies in jobs. Hey David, good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
All going good, going good. How are you?
I'm okay.
You feeling
This is
better?
where I live.
Oh, nice. I'm coming there, you know that, in a week or two.
Yeah,
This is
see?
beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I
Yep.
like it. Yeah, I've been there. This is beautiful. So it show us outside a little bit on the
Well,
ground.
check this out.
Ooh, I love that. You live right there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And this water is next to you?
Yep. This is our lake.
Oh, wow.
So this is I live in a complex called the Lakes
Okay.
because we have lakes and we have waterfalls and tennis courts and pool and all that cool stuff. And you know, the really cool thing, I'm not sure if I think they're gone now, but like every spring, um, ducks fly into the lakes to have babies. They have their babies, and then as soon as the babies are old enough, they fly away.
Yeah. Wow.
So
This is
yeah,
amazing. And you know that I'm coming there in 2 weeks probably. We are
yeah.
waiting on college to finalize, and I'm going to come to your house and spend some time. Maybe one show we will do from there. That's our goal. And yeah, and yeah, I was just, today's show is just talking about. Hello, we got a guest here. Dia, you want to say hi? Come on,
Hi.
you can see. All right, you can go play. I'm doing my show. Okay. So, yeah, everybody back to, thank you for joining us. But let me switch back to my camera front. So, Dave, today we are talking about really how, we are building this software. All of us are building so much software, but because of building software, launching and features and so on, so we are like, we never pay attention to the minor details. Like login password will be messy, or the UI will be messy and frustrating and all that. And paying attention to these minor details, you want to share a little bit more how important it is for all software developers? What's
I'm
your
sorry.
thought on that? What's your
Did you,
thought on that, paying attention to these minor details, especially in UI UX, how important it is for software developers?
oh, it's to me, it's super important. You know that's what really makes a programmer. That's what really makes customers like the program is to pay attention to those minor details. Like, and it's the little things. I think a lot of people forget. It's the little things that people like, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I know a lot of people work on, or companies work on big, huge features and everything, but usually that's not what the customer wants, right? And they want
yeah,
something easy to use. And so if you just take a little bit more time and do those little tiny tweaks that will make the customer experience better, not you'll have happy customers and you'll keep your job.
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and happy customer in today's world is the most important part, right? Because if customer is happy, your company will be happy. Obviously, you will keep your job and you'll get grow in your career.
Yeah. And that's and because they pay the bills. I know we all complain about users all the time, but in the end, they're the ones that pay the bills,
So
right?
everybody who's watching the show, do you guys agree? All right, I'm going away from Wi-Fi, so I should go back. Um,
You know,
yeah.
there
So
has
everybody watching the show, you agree, disagree? Let's see any comment. Yeah. Yes, David.
like, yeah, I did want to comment. When I was getting ready to come down here, I heard you say something about silos, right? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
and that's something really important, and it's something that I'd like to explore more someday. Is all these silos that people put up. And to me, silos are just brick walls, right? And you're not going to
Yeah.
let anybody in that silo, and therefore you're not going to share or participate with other teams in your company, right? And
Yeah.
and I think also, I think you said something about this too, that um, we consider the code that we produce our babies, right? And
Yes.
we become very protective over that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and and I have to be honest. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I have to be honest that in my younger days of software engineering, I can say I was probably more protective over my code, but I've learned, through experience that I shouldn't be, right? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
when you become protective of your code, that means you're not going to listen to anybody's input, right?
Yes.
And therefore, you're not going to grow. The application isn't going to grow, and therefore you might just lose customers, right? And so,
Yes.
one thing I think a lot of people have to get over is that, right? And
Yeah.
it's not your baby; it belongs to the company, right? And
Yes.
and you should share that knowledge with and experience with everybody you can, so they can also learn, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And even same thing applies to sometimes even I was like that too in the beginning days. C sharp corner, somebody will give a better idea. Like, no, no, I'm right. This should be how it should be. But agree
Right.
that if you want to grow and build it for other people, and the growth, you have to be open-minded. You have to be listen to all the ideas. You don't have to accept those ideas.
No.
You don't have to at least, but you got to listen and see if that makes sense or not.
Right. And when people give me feedback, that's exactly what I do. I take the feedback, I don't let it offend me, and I go, okay, well, they told me this and this is what I'm doing. How should I incorporate their comments, into my code, right?
Yep. Yep.
Because most
And
people
then
that are telling you something are trying to improve it, right?
they're really
And
trying to help you. Really, they're not really picking on you. We should not take that personally.
right. And I also know that some developers, um, aren't very good at um, communicating that, right? And
Yes.
sometimes that might come off as they're being, mean and I think some developers actually, unfortunately, are being mean. But I think the
Yeah.
vast majority of developers out there, at least the ones I know, aren't trying to be mean. They're trying to help you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, same thing. Very good point there, David. Is that I was actually I'm trying to get more view. Oh, this is nice. What's that red thing in the water?
Those are fish.
Fish?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a big fish.
Yeah, we have huge koi fish here. So,
Wow,
you know,
that looks like a few feet.
yeah, if the local grocery store
Holy.
ever runs out of food, I know where I'm going to eat.
Uh, oh, that's beautiful. I think I'm definitely coming there. But back
Sushi.
to this question. Hopefully, oh yeah, hopefully everybody enjoying the show today from outside. But again, I think Venkat has a good point. So this is exactly Venkat is the point. Even building C sharp corner and building this community takes time, right? It's just you plant the seed, and then you have to wait, make sure you water, you sun, take care of it. That's how it grows. So even in your life, it's same thing as your kids, right? Once you have kids, you realize how much time and effort it takes to raise kids. um, so David, the second point I mentioned in this show today we want to cover is the how important it is to be patient if things don't go. Yeah, this is nice. This is beautiful. How important it is to be patient when you don't grow the way you should be or your growth didn't go fast enough. And my example was, let me show you this one tree flower plant here is is this one right here. So this it took me 3 years to bring this grow this up to here. Last year it only has one flower. Year before it didn't have any flowers, but now finally it's beautiful. And it's that simple that sometimes things have to take time. You just join a company and you want to grow fast enough, and some people say, oh, this guy, you can't be frustrated because you're not there yet. It's going to take time as long as you continue to work towards your goal.
Yes, you have, and again, patience is hard for a lot of us, including myself. I'll admit that. Um, but I've been trying a lot harder in the last while to be more patient and to listen more. And it's a skill that some of us have to learn. And it's I have to say it's really tough in our world to be patient because um, we have so many demands on us. We have so many, on a daily basis, we have so many things coming at us at one time that it's,
Yeah.
it's a lot of times I feel I don't have a lot of time to be patient. I have to get something done or out, or I have to say something quickly because I have to move on to the next project, right? Or the next thing I'm
But the
supposed to be
problem
working on.
is, yeah, the problem is not having patience is not helping anybody, definitely not helping you. So being
Right,
patient is actually going to help you. Otherwise, it's going to frustrate you, right? There's
right.
nothing you can really do about it. Yeah.
Hey, the
So,
duck, the duck,
sometimes I talk to these guys, young guys. Yeah.
the
Oh,
ducks
yeah, I
are,
hear duck. Yep.
yeah, the ducks are here. See the baby?
Yes. Oh, yep.
There's a mama and a baby duck right there.
Yep. All right. I definitely want to come there.
So they're still here.
Yeah. So, back, yeah. So back to this, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So
Yeah, this is
everybody
my
who
complex.
who is not sure. Oh, wow. This is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David lives in San Diego and I'm going to San Diego soon. I was already there. This time, David, I'm coming to your house. We're going to hang out there. And maybe next one of the shows we will do from there. Either
Yeah.
your show or my show.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. One of the ideas I've always had for my show is to, you know, um, I've said this a bunch of times, but I live about a mile from the beach. It's just it's just that way, and I'd love to do a show,
Oh, really?
by the beach or, at one of the restaurants or locations by the beach in Del Mar here.
Okay, yeah. I think, yeah, we'll figure out a space, place where we can do it from. It can
Yeah,
be from outside. Yeah, I think this is nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad place to live, huh?
No, it's beautiful. It's not a bad place to live. Yeah, especially if it's winter time here. Uh, yeah. All right. So with that said, I think so. Key is, we covered, yeah, we covered 2 points today. Is that if you are a young guy, or even you're not a young guy, you're trying to grow fast, and sometimes things are not going your way, you gotta be patient, and that's only gonna help you because if you don't have patience, it's gonna frustrate you, nobody else, right? So you gotta be patient, continue working towards your path. That was number one. Number two, which is very, very important for at least software developers, is pay attention to the minor details. That's where I find most clients are frustrated because details. That's those are the 2 points today. Anything you want to add to this, David, today?
Yeah, the and I've been thinking about writing an article about this to explain it more. And I know I've said this on my show, and I've written about this a lot. But I always look at my job as being a software engineer or software engineer architect. Is my sole job is to make somebody's workflow better, right? And I'm trying to
Yeah,
get them to do something faster or better than they did it before, right? And that's what I focus on. I focus
yeah,
on the user. I focus on the end person using the product, and I try as hard as I can, which is gets harder the more you're in your career, to look at it from their perspective, right? And because a lot of us unfortunately develop apps like we're going to use it. You know,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yes. Yeah.
right,
That's when we miss it because we are not the users.
right. We are not the users, and we design apps for us, and that's wrong.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
paid to make somebody's workflow better as a software engineer. We're not paid to make it work for us, right? And so
Yes.
that's what is what you need to do. And unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but many times in my career, I've been the one that had to spearhead all of that, right?
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
to push it because I believe that was the right way to do it. And I've pushed companies to let me go spend a day or more with the users and just look at what they're doing. And so I can see firsthand how I can make their workflow better, right?
Yep.
And I know a lot of software engineers probably don't want to talk to the customers or end users, but I feel that it's a necessity if we're going to understand how to make their workflow better.
Yeah. Simon, you want to jump in and say hi?
Hello, 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 everyone. Here I am with my very old location. Not changing at all.
Hey,
You
Simon,
here. Hi, David. Oh
when are you
my,
going to come visit me? I've got a room ready for you.
yeah. Thank you, David. I'll be there soon.
Yes. He's
I'm
working
coming in
on it. He's
October.
working on it.
Yeah.
He's afraid of COVID.
Oh, that's right. You got COVID again. How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm feeling better now. Better.
Okay.
Far better. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the first time you got it, right?
Second.
I mean, the last time I got it, I didn't check it up. I didn't go to the doctor because it was 2020. It was very
Oh,
peak.
okay.
The test kits were not available. Nothing. This time I got an official one. It's going to be
Okay.
there in the records.
Or you are safe for at least 6 months now, so you can start traveling.
Yeah, I'm gonna note that down. You guys live in a very open area, I would say. As an Asian, right? This is very open area to live.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So whole America is like that. It's very open. It's just
Yeah.
not, yeah, lot of land here.
That's
With that
lucky, guys.
said, David, anything you want to say in the end before we close the show? So everybody, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
Looks
thanks.
like Simon. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining. And don't forget to watch Rockin' the Code World tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific
I
time.
like the way he plugs in.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's good.
I have
That's
to.
good. That's good. Everywhere, we have to take every opportunity.
Well, I'm
You
going to
find,
have I'm going to have Jeremy Lickness on the show tomorrow, and Simon can correct me, but I think the show that he was on, Rockin' the Code World, a year and a half ago or whatever, was the
Yeah,
most
exactly.
popular show ever.
Exactly. You're 100% right. It trends on C# corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Can we also figure out, Simon, maybe do this, maybe stream that on LinkedIn?
Yeah. I'm gonna do that for David show going forward.
Yeah,
I'll make sure
that'll be good
I do
because
that.
that's where we'll get a lot. David on LinkedIn will get a lot.
Yeah, perfect. I'll do that going forward. Okay, this
All
is
right.
turning out to be a call meeting.
That's good. All right, guys, we should not bore people, but at least we should let them show, they should know where we live. At least now they can find us. They want to come check us out. Simon, you may want to come stay here with David. He has a room ready for you. Everybody, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Friday, 12 Eastern. Bye.
All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
See you later.